A lot of people ask me my opinion of things like Facebook and Twitter and all the texting that's going on and the way the media has changed over the last 10 years and how it's affected kids. There's a lot of disagreement right now in the social science and scientific worlds as people try to figure out what's the impact of kids that on average in middle school text 200 times a day. I know that seems not very many, but to me as an old guy it sounds like an awful lot. 200 times a day. How does that change you? Well, the disagreements are saying that a lot of kids are, on the one hand, they are just using those forms of the media in order to deepen existing relationships. And that's been my observation as well. As I don't see social media for most kids initiating relationships or even deepening relationships. What they are, they seem to be tools to facilitate other opportunities for relationships. In other words, whether it's Facebook, other social forms of media, or even texting, those are the ways that kids will connect with each other, grab onto each other in order to have a common understanding instead of rules, that when they do gather they already have this common vocabulary and common experience. So in that sense, I don't think it's bad necessarily or hurting kids. Now there are a lot of kids, however, that are using social media to take their own pain, their own isolation, and lash out at others, and especially with middle school. And it seems to be even more pronounced with girls. Boys at some point, but with girls as well. There's a new movement called the Kind Campaign, a new documentary called Finding Kind that I've just started to work with those two filmmakers. It's a documentary on girls bullying, mostly cyberbullying, and it's absolutely brutal what's going on out there. And that's the downside. Is what's happening is kids have such free and random access to amazing technology that opens up the world to them, but they don't have the developmental awareness, either personal awareness or awareness of others and what to do about it and how to handle it. So we've given kids way too much freedom. Parents and other folks that work with kids have to put some boundaries on. For one thing, don't ever let your kid have a cell phone that can send or receive pictures if possible, especially sending pictures. The sexting thing is a huge issue of sending sexually explicit pictures. Secondly, is parents ought to be, especially with middle school and young high school, have full access to their kids' phones and computer accounts. Thirdly, is you shouldn't have any kid with wireless internet anywhere if possible. Put a password on and have your kids be in the home, in the family room when they're on the computer. And then fourthly is you got to have relationships with our kids, so you're talking through these very complicated issues. We need to protect our kids in this media saturated culture.